I request CA Manish Raj Dandania, representative from Study Circle, to come to the dais and take his place. Now I request CA. Now with huge round of applause, I request CA Praveen Dukania ji, CFO GSTN, to the dais. CA Praveen ji is an award-winning CFO with over 22 years of experience across Fortune 500 companies. He is known for strategic transformation, strong governance, and high performance leadership. Now, with a huge round of applause, I would like to call CA Bimal Jain ji, eminent panelist, to the dais. CA Bimal ji is a leading GST expert with over 2 decades of experience in indirect tax, widely respected author, trainer, and founder of A to Z Tax Corp LLP. Welcome, sir. Now, with a huge round of applause, I would like to call CA Jatin Christopher, eminent panelist, to the dais. CA Jatin sir is a senior GST and indirect tax expert with over 20 years of experience, known for his practical insights, authored guides, and respected advisory work. Welcome, sir. Now I would like to call on dais CA Rajendra Kumar P, Central Council Member, Chairman of GST and Indirect Tax Committee, and Convener of M&SS Directorate. Rajendra sir is a distinguished chartered accountant with over 3 decades of professional experience and a long-standing leadership role within ICAI. He has contributed extensively to national and international accounting bodies. Welcome, sir. Now I would like to call on dais CA Sushil Kumar Goyal ji, moderator of today's session. CA Sushil Kumar Goyal ji is a senior chartered accountant with over 28 years of experience in GST and indirect taxation. A leading expert from Eastern India, has delivered more than 900 lectures across the country. He has served in key positions in ICAI Committee and Tax Association and continues to contribute extensively as a speaker, advisor, and thought leader. A warm welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais. Now I request CA Biswa Bangla ji, Regional Council Member, EIRC, to kindly felicitate our esteemed dignitaries and present them with mementos as token of our respect and gratitude.
आप भारत सरकार है
It is now my pleasure to officially hand over the session to our moderator, CA Sushil Kumar Goyal ji. Sir, we request you to kindly lead the proceeding of this enriching technical session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit. It's really great pleasure moderating this big panel, who and who in the country, starting with Chairman Rajendra Kumar P, Chairman of GST and Indirect Tax Committee, and he is playing number of roles. The biggest role I always consider is the chairman of this, convener of this MSS section of Icai Eye. That is the member and students, all members and all students, he is taking care of this. So we have Bimalji on my right, I think synonyms to the GST, a person who is known by the world GST is on the left, Parvinji Dokania, he is CFO to GSTN. हमारी GST की दुनिया यहीं से शुरू होती है और यहीं ख़त्म हो जाती है. Everything starts with GSTN and we have to conclude at this point only. And he was talking about the tribunal, this जो हमारे tribunal आने वाली है उसके बारे में भी कुछ बात करेंगे. And we have Jitin Christopher, we call him encyclopedia on GST. I don't know how he remember all this section and rules. He can refer wherever required. So with this, I am congratulating each one of you who is thinking GST is important and you are present in the auditorium. This is a panel discussion, but before going to the discussion topic, we have chairman with us, GST and Indirect Tax Committee of ICI. And I must say, ICI has played a big role for the profession and for GST. So let me hear from him only. Sir, what are the things ICI is doing for members? Please tell us.
Thank you, very esteemed moderator C.A. Sushil Goyal ji. My esteemed panelists who are seated here, Bimal ji, Dokania ji, Jatin bhai and other regional council members. First thing is congratulations for this 50th regional conference. The congregation of such a magnitude of an event is really a time to celebrate our success. Sir Sushil ji, you started off saying that the ICA has done is doing immensely for GST. But I must tell you, sir, this all started by you. When you were there in the council in the year 2017 when GST was launched, but I came to the council in 2019. So in the 2 years of the formative years of GST, the amount of work which was done by the GST and Indirect Taxes Committee was phenomenal. People like Jatin Christopher, whose academic brilliance can never be questioned by anyone, is one person who has contributed immensely also, along with Sushil ji, in ensuring that to this date there is no parallel to the GST manual that we have. There are 2 books, volume 1 and volume 2. That is a flagship material of the GST and Indirect Taxes Committee. I must place on record the contribution to that particular book by the current Central Council member and also the then Central Council member, C.A. Madhukar Hiragange, under whose chairmanship this manual was written by people like Jatin and people like us who contributed whatever best possible manner in which it was to be done. And that particular manual continues to occupy the most important place in the library of not chartered accountants alone. Today, as on date, each and every department, this particular book is a Bible. Each and every committee's publication is with the department also. Sir, in your time, Sushil Goyal ji, when I was also there as the vice chairman under your chairmanship, the amount of interaction we had with CBIC started off in 2019, and today it has reached its zenith. For anything on GST, as far as the CBIC is concerned, GST Council is concerned and also GSTN is concerned, Prabinji, ICAI is the first and the last stop. We come to know of things much before than the general public knows because we are involved in the discussion right from the beginning. That is the amount of confidence which the government is putting in us. Very recently, yesterday, we signed an MOU with the state government of Tripura, the GST department of the state government of Tripura. We signed an MOU yesterday for research, for capacity building, and for training of the officials of the state government of Tripura. Let me tell you, friends, some of them have come and told me, sir, why are we training people? We are only teaching them. See, ignorance is bliss. But then when you talk to an ignorant person, he can do a damage which can be very, very taxing and which can be on a very, very higher scale. So let us teach people, let us tell them what is GST, and today it is our requirement. The state officials' knowledge and capacity building is extremely important because GST is not only a central driven law, it is also a state law also. So sir, in the GST committee, apart from the conferences, lecture meetings, whatever we do internationally, nationally also, these things which we do for the government and the trust and confidence which the government has placed in us is immense. But this is not the end. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We have just begun. I know generations will come, generations will go, but the work of the committee is such immense. People like Bimal Jain, he is a very popular speaker across India. When he goes and stands and speaks on GST, or Jatin Christopher, when he speaks on GST, of course both of them, language may be different, their diction may be different, the way they speak may be different, but then the amount of importance which they attach to the subject. And take the case of Sushil Goyal, 1,000+ lectures he would have given, immense contribution, academically very, very brilliant, and also the case whenever a passionate thing about GST comes, he stands in front. So he is one person who has been extremely important for us. And Praveen Dokania ji, coming in the GSTN, he is a blessing for the ICI, let me tell you. Because he is there as a chartered accountant handling the CFO activities of the GSTN, the institute is recognized. And today in GSTN, if the first and last call is ICAI, it is also because of the immense contribution made by people like Praveen Dokania ji. I would not say much, but let me tell you, friends, that this is the beginning. This is not the end. Or I can put it in the words of Winston Churchill, this is the end of the beginning. That much I can tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman sir, for briefing us of the activities of ICI. Naveen, Parveen ji, हम लोग ने 65 लाख रजिस्ट्रेशन से स्टार्ट किया था, अब 1 करोड़ 60 लाख के आसपास पहुंच गए. And we have started only with 7 lakh, around 7 lakh annual collection. Now we have 22 lakh annual collection in the year 2024-25. And people are looking for simplification in GST. So how you see that how GST will going to more simplified? So many things has been done in GST 2.0, but how you see things are coming? Anything you want to share to members?
Thank you, Sushil ji, thank you, RK Saab and my esteemed fellow panelists. It's always a privilege to come Calcutta and enjoy the the hospitality of City of Joy, and speaking about the GST and the contribution made by ICAI. So what Sushil ji has said, GST has gone from a long journey. If we recall the earlier day pre-GST, the complication of the various tax law of the states, central excise, then service tax and all. So with the help of technology, we move forward. So in the year 2017, we have started what Sushil ji has said, that it has started with the 65 taxpayer, and as on today, there are 1.6 crore. So that means the incremental is happening, and apart from the incremental of taxpayer, the economy is formalizing. That means more or more people is coming into the formal economy kind of a thing. So that's a very important contribution by the help of technology in the GST ecosystem. So, and it contribute the nation building as well. And that's the one thing. And going forward, Sushilji, that you have said, one is GST, second is that we came that e-way bill. It's again the simplification of the business transaction, simplification of and making the India flat. You can transport your goods from anywhere to without any hurdle. Earlier there was a check post in a different setup which takes a lot of time, business productivity get hampered. Now with the help of technology, this thing has become simplified and economy is further foster the economy. Third, we can see the third major contribution is e-way bill, e-invoicing. So when B2B invoicing is done, it's on a real-time basis. Business can have more visibility, more accountability, and the more credit availability to the business. On a real-time basis, one can access the more credit from the bank, NBFC, and other thing. It's again path of the growth. So due to help of technology in all these parameters, we can see that a lot of things are happening. And going forward, with the help of technology, other litigation aspects you have said, so maybe with the help of GStat, that litigation aspects will also taken care by. And the government has a thought to going on B2C invoice. Again, it will be a game changer for Indian economy. So
Big thing, sir. The big B2C invoice is something people are worried about, sir.
It will be a big game changer.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are happening with the help of technology. It's possible only through the help of technology. And going forward, things will be.
Thank you, Parveenji. And I must remind the audience that when this e-invoicing was launched in the country, ICI has been asked to verify, test the portal, and we have done almost 30 days.
Yeah. So I must thank that the schema of that e-invoice is also, I was leading that with the help of ICI. We have able to draft the schema and froze it. Day, night, we have spent on that.
Yeah. A big team of ICI was helping GSTN to testing the schema. Thank you. Parveenji was arranged that opportunity to ICI, I must say. Thank you, Parveenji. I am going to Bimalji now. विमल जी, जीएसटी में 4 रेट से 2 रेट हो गए सर, ये क्या सही में हो गए या हमें भ्रम है? और हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू हेल्प द बिजनेसमैन, व्हाट यू आर सीइंग द जीएसटी 2.0 अबाउट द रेट? सर, यू हैव माइक देयर.
At the outset, I must say that EIRC ICI is celebrating Golden Jubilee years. Next to me, Rajendra ji, Chairman, IDT Committee, Sushil ji and fellow colleagues. GST indeed a biggest indirect tax reform since independence. We have seen multiplicity of taxes subsumed into one basket, 17 indirect taxes and 23 cess. Cascading of taxes, gone in GST, to certain extent still existing. Double taxation, which was there in pre-GST, no more existing in GST scenario. And in real sense, Mamata Didi of TMC and Modi ji of BJP, it's common unified law. Because GST law commonly applicable Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So it will not make any difference whether you are studying GST law in Calcutta or studying GST in Delhi. It's pan-India applicable. Having said that, recently we have heard next generation 2.0. Sushil ji posted a query to me that there was rate rationalization. Is it real or what are the challenges? Look at nil rate still existing. 3% still existing. 5%, of course, is a lucrative one for all essential goods. 12% they are saying gone, but still existing. 99% product falling under 12% slab has either gone to 5% or nil rate. 18% existing. 28% slab, of course, the goods are either moved to 18% and with compensation cess. So 28% with compensation cess still existing for the gutka, pan masala, unmanufactured tobacco, and the special slab 40% for sin and luxury goods. So you have seen these changes, majorly 5%, 18% and 40%. But what Sushilji wanted me to explain, is it going in the right direction? Let me tell you, rate rationalization was the big demand by trade, industry and commerce. Since 2018, I do not know whether I should thank to US tariff or thank to Donaldji. Somehow 15th August 2025, we heard next generation GST 2.0 will come, and Honorable Prime Minister has said they are going to do structural reform. So they will minimize the classification dispute and they will minimize inverted duty structure. Rate rationalization we all are aware of, and ease of doing business. Of course, big announcement. Within 3 working days, you can get registration done for taxpayer whose monthly liability is less than 2.5 lakh rupees. Refund, 90% provisional refund you will get within 7 days. Even IDS refund you will get within 7 days. They will do risk analysis. And these are the announcements they have said, and many items like intermediary. I'm not going to discuss everything, but I'm on rate. Just I want to draw your attention. They did rate rationalization. But while doing that, they have created confusion for certain sector. I can pick up 1 or 2 with the time permit. You look at packaging industry. Those who are manufacturing corrugated boxes and non-corrugated boxes. Paper is the raw material. Now, paper rate was 12% prior to 22nd September, and 12% rate was applicable for the packaging, corrugated and non-corrugated. What happened after 22nd September? Paper rate is increased to 18%, and rate for packaging is reduced to 5%. They are saying they do not want inverted duty structure, but creating inverted duty structure. And what will be the probable answer from government side? Yes, you will get IDS, inverted duty structure. But getting IDS, that too from a department, we were not getting refund even on export. So very difficult. My working capital gets blocked. Come to the toy industry. What government vision is, they want to promote domestic manufacturing sector. So manual toy, rate was 12% reduced to 5%, whereas electronic toy is 18%. I'm giving you one live case study, the tricycle which is paddle driven. It is GST rate reduced from 12 to 5%. Had it been electronic, 18%. Now what happened if you put some music in that tricycle, which is paddle driven, or put some light? It is electronic, whereas it is continued to be paddle driven. I'm saying that I'm just picking up only example. You can pick up many other example. Let's pick up northeastern part of India. Many friends are coming from northeastern part of India. There is sand lime bricks, which is at par with the fly ash bricks and blocks. What is the GST rate on fly ash bricks and blocks? 6% without ITC, 12% with ITC. Am I right? But what is the GST rate on sand lime bricks? 5% under Chapter 68. And I'm not being able to understand what is the difference between both, because manufacturing process, composition and usage are same for both product. Fly ash bricks made of fly ash, sand lime bricks made of sand lime. But look at the rate. Now block is being left under sand lime blocks. They are only saying 5% for sand lime bricks. What about sand lime blocks? Nothing is being stated. So what I'm telling you, Sushilji, you picked up right question whether rate is really, of course, it's a step. And GST, we have seen evolution. Starting with a 65 lakh registered person, we are 1.6 crore. And we have seen e-invoicing started with a threshold of 500 crore. Now applicable if your aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore. from August 1, 2023, look at the eBay bill generation, the kind of pressure which is being handled by...
Parvinji is talking about B2C invoicing also, e-invoicing. So the 5 crore will go on.
I do not know whether Sushilji wanted to poke me, whether B2C possible or not possible, but realistic age, of course, if e-invoicing, which is coming from it's a reporting, it's not generation from government portal. So if you look at the different countries, these invoices are being generated rather than India, which is reporting. But even though if it is implemented, the litigation, tax evasion, all will get minimized. What I'm looking for the support, then done away with the eBay bill. If e-invoice, which is having unique IR and number...
RK sir want to jump into this.
In fact, Praveenji, the European Union says yours is not e-invoicing, it is e-reporting. That is what European, it is not e-invoicing that you are doing e-reporting. So the union says that the e-invoicing is actually done by us. Yours is only reporting. You are not doing it from your own portal. So it is actually you are intimating to someone else, and where the data protection is extremely impaired there. Today, because of this e-invoicing and whatever e-mechanism is there in GST, the data is very freely available in market. That great risk we are running today, that is what is hindering us from getting into the EU arrangement. India has not been able to sign the treaty of EU till date because of its data protection policy. Please do something about it. Very, very important.
Sir,
even the current policy also may not help us.
So it is bringing transparency.
Sir, not to be quoted, but today if Sushil Goyal's clients, I will easily know who are Sushil Goyal's clients. I just need to walk to the GST office, speak to the GST or the inspector, I can take his clients list fully. It is available.
Sir, we are not going much into detail. Let me
Sushilji,
stop here and Bimalji, please conclude.
Just 1 minute. In the name of rate rationalization, they have opened certain issues. They have said rate rationalization will provide the benefit to the consumer. Look at your health insurance policy. It was 18% chargeable. Now it would be nil rated. Does it mean that, let's say basic price is 100 rupees, 18% chargeable, now it would be 100 rupees? Answer is big no. Because when it was 18% taxable, they were getting input tax credit. Let's say 9% incidence was there on inward supply. So they were getting this credit, but when GST rate is now nil on health insurance policy, this 9% incidence becomes cost. Then overall pricing would be 109 as against 118. Then this rate rationalization has also been seen. The real resultant benefit which was thought of is not coming in terms of pricing. So you should not take as a guarantee rate reduction means the benefit passing on to you as such, commensurating with these observations.
Thank you, Bimalji. And I must say, Bimalji, you add 2 rates, that is 1.5 for low-cost housing and 7.5 for the real estate housing. These 2 rates you forgot to mention. Jatin sir, he touched upon about the credit, and we all always fearful about the credit. Whether this GST 2.0 bringing some issues, all we know some issues are there. Says credit, what to do with that? Any light you want to throw? Audience want to know what to do with that credit, or whether that credit is still alive or gone.
As far as tariff reduction is concerned, like Bimalji rightly said, it's not as simple as it seems. When a rate of tax comes down to 0, the credits that were available will now cascade and cause an increase in the landed price to the customer, and the government's FAQs also admit that it's going to also be passed on to consumers. We also have seen that rates have been reduced to 5 with credit restrictions. So that also causes cascading of taxes. Now, the language of section 18(4) is very clear to say that when credits are no longer admissible, either because of a restriction or because of an exemption, not only is the balance lying in the credit ledger to the extent of that article is concerned liable to be reversed, but also any overutilization of that credit will also have to be repaid immediately, certainly through cash ledger where it has been used in the past. This caused enormous angst to taxpayers because when these tariff changes were notified, the assurance of the government was that consumers must receive the benefit of these rate cuts. Now, to simply cut the rates without seeing the effect on sales value is incomplete exercise. But because of this assurance given to consumers, manufacturers have had to accept the loss and pass on the visible tariff change. And government also held a press conference where the Honorable Finance Minister discussed about the monitoring done by CBIC as to what is the extent of rate reduction that they anticipate should be passed on and what's the extent they have observed from reports across the country coming in with respect to compliance with that rate reduction. And it was informed to the media and the country at large that the government was fairly satisfied with the extent to which the benefits were being passed on. But the hidden aspect is that those who have been forced to swallow this loss are not going to let this lie low. They're going to wait for the markets to settle down, and the next round of price revision, there's going to be a marked spike in the base price, and we'll see that certainly well within the end of this financial year, where the base price itself will be revised significantly to compensate and recoup all the losses that they have incurred, and not even positions like anti-profiteering, inquiries, etc. can prevent manufacturers from revising the prices. Just one example I will leave for consideration. Aerated beverages had a tax rate of 28 plus 12. 12 was done away with. As a result, the credit of 12 now adds to cost, and the base rate of 28 was revised to 40. So effectively, for the transition stock on that day across the country has become 52%. Where is that going to get recouped by the manufacturer? It's not like manufacturers operate on such luxurious margins that they can actually absorb the loss and let it be. They will find a suitable economic justification to recoup these and pass that burden back to consumers. That's the concern.
Sir, you are raising your very valid questions, and Bimalji, I will straight away want to know, he raised a issue that credit people has not done properly, 52%. Do you think the people have complied, or there, as we notices are bound to come to them?
My sense is it's not prudent not to comply at this time. At this time, comply, because we've seen how anti-profiteering investigations were done. One formula for all industries, quantity revisions not allowed, anti-profiteering required only a absolute price reduction, etc. So therefore, my sense is nobody will want to take the risk of not complying with it. They will continue to comply, capture all this data. Once they've got the economic situation is right, they will definitely pass this on and recover these losses. Shareholder value will completely erode if they have to absorb these losses permanently.
Got it, sir. Sir, I don't know why you passed the question which I have raised about the cess which is lying in my ledger. What is going to happen? Bimalji, you want to answer? I think you're not interested to answer.
See, this compensation cess which was leviable, you can pick up automobile. Cess credit was lying with the distributor and dealer on unsold inventory. Coal cess, this cess credit was lying as on 22nd September. He picked up aerated beverages. With one go, they have said compensation cess gone. But what happened to the credit? Nothing is being discussed and spoken about. Just one FAQ and FAQ saying it is going to be lapsed. Are we easing business? We are not easing business. and representation has gone to CBIC, policy being, at least look at this amount of compensation cess credit which was lying. Now all of a sudden it becomes cost. Who is going to bear this? What Jatinji has picked up, ultimately supplier going to factor in overall costing and pricing. If he's going to factor in costing and pricing, how the consumer will get the benefit? They will not get the benefit. But I got two way forward. Compensation cess is a subject matter under discussion. They have not yet decided, and we are looking for 57 GST Council meeting. So as on date, if you are having this credit in your books of accounts, just spot. First point. Second point, of course, 31st March 2026, you can take a call. What to be done? Can I debit to my PL account? If I'm debiting my PL account, at least I will get some benefit from income tax perspective. Third, I will say don't debit to your PL account, keep it as it is. For the reason you never know, at a future date you may get a litigation on compensation cess. Had this credit is available, you can utilize this credit for payment of compensation cess, but ultimately this is a subject matter government should look into.
Bimalji, you want to add something?
Yes,
But before that, I must say, and we will go to the chairman because he is the person who is representing all of us. Sir, Finance Minister number of time has mentioned that we are watching, we are thinking, we are doing something, and soon you will be here. So, whether something is there?
So my sense is, as the law stands, this credit is lost forever. The plain language of the law we should not be in doubt about. The economic reality of business and the government's response to alleviate their concerns, these are all outside the legislation. These are forward-looking statements, whether decisions can be taken today based on those forward-looking statements, which are not assurances. These are just statements. So my sense is, as a student of tax law, on 22nd September, all these cess credits vanished.
Sir, we don't want to believe in him. Sir, Chairman, sir, give some positive rays of hopes.
Sir, first thing is, I recognize the presence of our very illustrious past president, a prolific speaker, an outstanding personality, C.A. Ved Jain ji. Welcome to this 50th conference, sir. I have a great liking for him because when I was the chairman of the Southern India Regional Council, and when we held the largest ever conference of the Southern India Regional Council ever with 4,741 registrations, Ved Jain ji was the president. And in spite of a very immense weather obstructions, he had come to that conference. Welcome, sir, welcome. And Sushil ji, I mean, I don't think I'll be able to give a very pleasing answer to all these questions, but I just take all of you back to the historical thing which happened in somewhere in 91-92, when the same automobile industry was staring at an inverted duty structure in central excise. Almost all the automobile industries were having inverted duty structure. None of them were paying any much of contribution of excise duty in spite of the fact that it was a big sector. And one fine morning, government with one small rule said that on today, the entire ModVat credit lapses. One of the largest automobile company then, Ashok Leyland, they went to Supreme Court with a big writ, and many automobile players then joined also. Supreme Court said very simple, if the government has the power to give, the government has the power to take away also. खुदा जब देता है आपको पूछ के नहीं देता है, और खुदा जब लेता है आपको पूछ के नहीं लेता है. So this is what is the statement which Supreme Court said, that government has the power. So I am with Jatin Christopher, because there is nothing in law. How can the central government say that I can give a credit for my GST alone? It is not possible in law. You have to amend the law itself. And then you don't say that it is one GST in India. Okay, I give credit for my share, I won't give credit for his share. It's not possible. So I don't think we should give false hopes to the public. Whoever has come and spoken to me, I told them very clearly, okay, if you have an issue with respect to any litigation matter that there's an issue with respect to cess, you have it. But then at the end of the day, I don't think we should give false hopes. The credit is gone, and as far as I am concerned, it is gone forever. Thank you very much.
Bimalji, we North Indian people have to accept South India. So you can understand the finance minister also from there. So they have better information than us, I believe so.
Sushil ji, with so much of difficult task, we have made India as one nation, one tax, one law. So please, don't discriminate. Don't say North India and South India.
Sir, we are interested into credit. Sir, give me the credit.
That is what Didi is doing in Calcutta. See, listen. It's very easy to say government has power, but power should not be misutilized. No, sir, with all due regards and respect to you, I'm just picking up the word. When government is taking any decision, they have to first ensure ease of doing business. If some decision they want and they want to implement, and Honorable Prime Minister has said that he wants to showcase stability, predictability, the vision, all of a sudden you will come and say compensations has gone, your credit lapsed. How the predictability will come into the business? We all are businessmen here. We are looking support from the government. And they can't say, being government, we can take any call. Government is for the people, by the people, of the people. They have to think and they have to listen to us.
Sir, we are discussing law here. We are not discussing emotions.
Even
emotion is different, law is different.
Sir, then I will add. I will 1 minute. Safari retreats, Supreme Court judgment. If mall is functional as a plant, credit is available. But what government did? GST Council did. They have done a retrospective change in the GST law and saying that we never intended to give a credit on immovable property. Had it been the intention, why you would have gone to Supreme Court? And we have wasted time and efforts and money for both taxpayer and tax department. So I'm saying that ease of doing business will come only when we start thinking how he's doing the business, how we have to accommodate him, what are the support he's looking for. If you give him nurturing, hand-holding, then it will grow. And then you will see this 1.6 crore will be 3.2 crore. Otherwise in Bada Bazaar area, so many earning 2 crore, not registered in GST and not filing ITR.
Once again, I am telling, we are discussing law, we are not discussing emotions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chairman.
And whatever happened in Safari retreat, the Supreme Court did not give any decision. They shifted it back to the High Court. They said, you decide, you tell us. So, no decision came out of it. As he rightly said, we only wasted time and money and effort on that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm not looking this side. This side is now hot. Jitin sir, when Finance Minister was delivering the speech, she mentioned the word, the cess has been merged with the taxes. The word merged has been used. So when tax has been merged, cess has been merged with the taxes. So credit should be merged. This is a common man understanding.
Common man understanding is very uncommon in taxation especially. And the expressions used in the course of moving a bill or presiding over official meetings does not have absolutely any bearing on the interpretation of the legislature's words. The government's words are different, the legislature's words are different. The legislative language has no concept of merging because in GST we have simultaneous administration of central GST and state or UT GST, IGST and Compensation Act. It's not that 3 or 4 legislations have got merged, so therefore it would be unfair to read into a speech given by the finance minister and take out of context and then say therefore the law must align itself to the words of the speech. It should rather be treated on their own merit.
Got it, sir. So you giving a clear-cut message, whatever has been printed in the media, whatever has spoken by the so-and-so person should match with the law. And we should stick by law, should not give any...
Absolutely, absolutely.
So this is a warning to all of you. Please read the law. Don't carried away by the speeches. So anyway, on this note, we are going to move to different directions. I have not informed the House. Parveenji Dokania, a chartered accountant, CFO of GSTN, also heading the ticketing system of the GSTN. And all we people are aware how much this ticketing system is important. So we want to know from Parveenji how he handles tickets and what type of mistakes people are doing while raising the tickets, or what type of care they should take care while raising a particular ticket to the GSTN. Because the local officers are saying that I can't do anything, I am not allowed to change anything on the portal, you have to raise a ticket. Means you have a direct connection with the Parveenji, not with me. So when Parveenji here, let me hear from him.
So, Sushilji, I think the ticketing and the grievances system has been introduced as GST has implemented in 2017. From that time, the grievances system and taxpayer facility help desk system has been introduced and established. So that time it was only inbound call. There was a call center has set up around 500, 600 tax that help desk assistants were there, was handling the call, taking the inbound call, raising the tickets and all. Now, during this journey, we have improved a lot, and it is now inbound and as well as outbound. So if any grievances has raised, any clarification is required, so our help desk assistants, they call back to the taxpayer, get the more information. Apart from that, through the call system, we have introduced that bot also. So through the bot, we have trained the bot, so a lot of answer one can get through the bot. Also, then we have a self-login, self-assistance ticketing system, where you can log in, upload your documents and all. So that's an easy way of handling the things. It's a self-help assistance kind of a thing. So ticketing, in the ticketing system, there are 2-3 layers. One is called L1, where the taxpayer easy, like registration and other thing. There is some where the more technical things is involved, data is not getting extracted or something. So then it's a L2. And then there is one thing which is related to hardcore system coding and all. So then it goes to the code developer and all. So that's a L3. So we have a standard TAT as well, so that in how many days the ticketing will be solved and all. And it's getting monitored very regularly and thoroughly. So we think that we are, it's a very robust system. And the mail ID, help desk numbers and everything is widely published. And I can say that the number of tickets has gone down drastically. Earlier, there was a lot of tickets. If you see that we used to monitor per 1,000 how many tickets we are getting. So now it has gone down drastically.
Just, can I take it?
Yeah. Bimalji now.
Praveenji, input to you, and we can check from ground level. You all say, now this is your participation. We have seen help desk in GST, right? Please raise your hands so that we have seen help desk. ऐसा नहीं लगता आप ही help कर दें? नहीं लगता ऐसा आप ही help कर दें? Ticketing, आप ये मैसेज लेके जाइए सर. मैं पर्सनली नो ग्रीवेंसेस, बट हेल्प डेस्क में कई बार बोलते हैं अपने सीए से पूछ लो. अरे उसी की ऑफिस से फोन कर रहा हूँ. Am I right? और वो जो टिकटिंग है 24 आवर्स में रिजॉल्व कुछ होता ही नहीं. सर ये मैसेज लेके जाइए.
Let me get the idea from Parveen ji. Parveen ji, suppose some issue has not been resolved and we are getting message that ticket is closed or your issue is resolved. So what course of action one should adopt to move ahead? Should we regenerate new number or open the ticket which is already
open? I think that input we have already got that. There are some tickets which is getting foreclosed without resolvement and other thing, because it's handled by the third party. So the taxpayer can reopen the ticket again. So we'll take care of that.
Just one
Yes,
suggestion to you,
Chairman,
sir.
sir.
Sir, GSTN is a company. It's a Section 13 company, and it is now headquartered in Delhi, sir. Sir, our sincere request and suggestion is, now you must have regional centers also.
Sir,
If
the
you have a
ticket
re-
handles 12 languages.
No, not ticket. No, I'm not calling. Not talking of ticket at all, sir. You please look at this. You have become a large body. You're going to sit at a huge number of registrations, and what Bimal Jain says becomes true. All Bada Bazaar also registers, sir. Then we'll have huge number of registrations and huge number of population getting into. And you are now become a pioneer, sir. Whether you know it or not, in this country, you are a pioneer in terms of this particular network. So now you should restrict yourself to GST alone. You must become the tax network of India, taking into your fold even the income tax department also. So that will really benefit the amount of foundation that you have laid in terms of technology in this country. So please we will also impress upon them when we talk to them, that open now regional offices like branches that you have in companies. That is our suggestion, sir.
Thank you.
You
Sir,
must
input is
take it
taken.
on your leverage, sir. Please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Now, I think the audience must be interested in knowing the GST tribunal, the GST. And we are hearing since 8.5 years. It is coming, and the language is changing, but whether things is already done or we are near to working. Bimal sir, whether we are near to opening of the GST, we will see court soon. We will able to wear the black coat and tie, go to court. What is the expected date from your side?
Sushil ji wanted me to say what is the expected date. See, of course, we all are looking for GST 80. After first appellate order, there is no window available. We are into 9th years of GST. Of course, 56 GST Council meeting recommendation that the website would be operational. PH will start by December, and all backlog appeal to be filed by 30th June 2026. But look at recent Supreme Court judgment on Tribunal Reforms Act. And Honorable Supreme Court has given observation on appointment, tenure, and lot of things and stuff is being stated is ultra vires. Though Tribunal Reforms Act directly not impacting GST being specific law, but having indirect reference also. And to my mind, it is having some direct or indirect implication as well. Having said that, are we practically ready? I want to check in Calcutta, how many of you have filed appeal on GST 80 portal? Anyone? One guy is raising the hands in the whole audience. It is not yet started. But now what Sushil ji wanted, whether it is going to be operational, of course we all are looking for, things are work in progress. Praveen ji sitting here, they are working on the portal side as well. So to my mind, it is all going, but state-wise preparation is lacking, Sushil bhai. The kind of,
GST lives in states only.
Sir, that is, states say kuch nahi, that is what we are discussing. States say infrastructure is not ready. And we are talking about GST 80
Sir,
going to be
abhi so jaye fir. What is the date? My question was specific. What is the date? It was.
सुशील जी, अगर मैं प्रवीण जी की साइड पे बैठा होता तो जरूर मैं टेंटेटिव आइडिया देता, बट कीपिंग फिंगर क्रॉस, वी ऑल आर लुकिंग फॉर, यू कैन से इट मे बी गेटिंग डिलेड, बट it is going to be operational. So best part is.
Can we find out from the audience anybody filed the appeal so far?
One or two guys raised the hand. One or two guys.
One or two guys already filed the appeal.
हाँ, appeal
ट्राइब्यूनल में.
हाँ.
नहीं, अपील में किसी ने ट्राइब्यूनल में तो फाइल नहीं किया होगा.
फाइल किया ना.
GST appeal in the tribunal.
GST 80
आप
ट्राइब्यूनल.
मुझसे मिलिए सर, मुझसे आपसे बात करनी है.
लेकिन प्रवीण जी ने बताया कि अभी तक एक ही अपील फाइल हुई है.
Even because I have some, we are in talks with the government. So जिसने भी GST में अपील ट्रिब्यूनल में फाइल किए, वो आप मुझे मिलिए, आपसे मुझे कुछ सजेशंस लेने.
अच्छा, anyway, I am coming to Rajendra sir. What is your take on the GST preparedness on this appellate tribunal, and how the ICI is taking care of all this. And recently we heard something in the Supreme Court about the tribunal. Yeah.
See, basically, institute was before the Supreme Court on the on the number of years of practice. Advocates with 10 years of practice were eligible for appointment as the ITIT members, and for chartered accountants, they changed to 25 years. And various other matters also were there before the Honorable Supreme Court. And Supreme Court dictated a very detailed judgment on this. When the whole nation was celebrating, we in the legal director of ICI, we were a little bit taken aback because there was no specific mention of the chartered accountants issues there, and there was no reference to our arguments also. So next day morning, our senior counsel made a mention before the Honorable Chief Justice, and Honorable Chief Justice was gracious enough to dictate one full paragraph favoring the chartered accountants. We wanted parity, but the Honorable Supreme Court went one step ahead and directed the Union government that whenever you shall discuss about this aspect, the advocates and the chartered accountants shall be kept on par in terms of appointment as ITIT members. So it is a big victory for the institute per se, I must tell you, and our counsels, whoever argued this matter, and also amicus curiae, Arvind Datarji, should be specifically thanked for his role that he played in this particular matter. And as far as GST tribunal is concerned, sirs, I am in full agreement with what Bimal Jain says. Leave alone my position as chairman of the GST and Indirect Taxes Committee. We are continuously discussing with the government on the tribunal also, on the appeal filing also, on various other procedural matters. That's why I said the gentleman who filed the appeal in tribunal, please meet me. I would like to have a talk with him. In fact, again, GST is not a central-driven law alone. It is a state-driven law also. Except for 2 or 3 states in India who have appointed GST tribunal members. I think 2 states only I heard. 3, is it? 3. No other state has even taken one step to form a panel to call for application and interview members. The largest states in India, I am telling you, which are contributing GST. So currently we have only around 52, 53 members who have been identified by the central government and then appointed as the members of the GST tribunal. Now there's going to be a huge load on all of them. It's going to be a very extremely difficult task. And let me be very candid. As an individual, I am making this statement. I don't see a bench starting to function on or before June 1, 2026, sir. I am telling you this from out of my limited experience, because as infrastructure is not ready. See, you can't sit in a room and then conduct any hearing. You can't say everything is faceless and I'll do only through video conferencing, etc. It's not possible. It's impossible. Nowhere in the world such thing happened that you sit in one room and conduct a hearing. You have to have benches across the places. You need to have infrastructure. You need to have people to go and file an appeal. Online is one option. Online cannot be the only option. So it will take some time. And as we grow, we proceed only, we'll be able to understand the ground realities of what is going to happen and what may not happen. So I always I am a very cautious person, and coming from the south, I am conservative. I am not like that.
You are coming from the part of the country where FM is coming. That is more important.
But still, thank you.
Jatin sir, you have to conclude this. When we are going to see the tribunal functioning? Because they both have given the political answers.
To be fair to the government, and based on experience of anything spectacular that's happened in GST, it's happened overnight and unannounced. So I'm hopeful that continuing with that trend, this can get notified anytime. As far as states notifying their technical members, my sense is that it's waiting to be notified. If the states put their minds to it, they can notify their respective candidates very quickly. I think it's less about physical infrastructure. It's about some other aspects that need to come together. My sense is a lot of work is going on behind the scenes, and I would expect that it can happen anytime. It shouldn't get delayed because, like Bimalji said, it's been too many years that we've been waiting, and courts have taken exception to the delay, and government will respond very quickly. And to refine the functioning of the GST 80, it can always get started and then get refined, and GST has shown the way of getting a kacha draft out and refine it as we go along.
Thank you, sir. Parveen ji, you want to say something, anything preparedness on the part of GSTN, because I understand GSTN is playing a big role in the implementation of this aspect.
So the application part, the software part has already been designed, developed and implemented. And as RK Bhai has said rightly, the infrastructure is getting ready. Because the infrastructure, there are two aspects, that identifying the building, making the civil things, and then the hardware component on it. So the allocating the building, identifying the building where from the court will operate, and then the hardware. So it's taking a little bit of a time. So.
Thank you. Before I ask them to conclude, anybody want to ask something? Because I already got the slip, the red slip from the chairman. Anybody want to ask any of the panelists? He may quickly ask in one line or two lines. GST is very good and simple, I believe. Nobody is asking anything. Yes, Arup.
What question? What is your question?
He is saying, and let me repeat, sir. He is saying 19th November judgment has came.
Yes.
That something is not good about the government decision, about the tribunal.
Yeah.
So can they go to High Court and say that something is not good about the tribunal? So please hear our cases. Because GST cases are now not being heard by the High Courts. On the ground that the tribunal is coming, you go to tribunal.
Sir, I am not a very strong legal person on what the question you are asking.
He is heading the legal committee of the ICA. And how you can say so?
Because I am on record, so I have to give a disclaimer. And luminaries are like Girish Ahujaji is there and Ved Jain ji are sitting here. So before them, I should not showcase my credentials.
All jokes apart, he is very good legal backing, and he is perfectly handling the ICI, all legal cases for last 3 years, I believe.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years he is handling, and you can understand once he is continuously getting appointed, he is definitely handling it. So
Which
jokes
means,
apart.
Which means I am not fit for any other thing. That's what he's saying. Sir, let me tell you, yes, the jokes apart, sir. See, this decision of Supreme Court will certainly enhance value of a tribunal and the appointment of its members going forward. Supreme Court has very clearly given direction to the government also that within this time frame, you do it. And yes, you can always tell the High Court that, look, this is what has happened. And it may not have direct connections with the GST tribunal. But then, when there are certain directions given by the court, when there are certain comments made by the court, when there are certain references made by the court, the government does take into account whatever the court has said. And so, I mean, I'll be extremely happy with what Jatin Christopher says if it happens. I'll be thrilled, in fact. We'll be jumping with joy because we'll have that more number of opportunities to do programs in ICA at least. That much I can tell you. But then, we'll have to wait and watch. But if the High Court is not willing to listen to you, because at the end of the day, High Court is not the, I mean, only legal references can be made, isn't it? What else High Court can do? So they also have their hands tied up. But you can still use one more argument. You can put it up. Thank you.
So last line from Bimalji. Please conclude within 60 seconds because the flag is now raised.
See, what I'm looking from GST 80 perspective, we have seen GST got introduced July 1, 2017 and GSTN portal was not ready. All of a sudden announced, implemented, and GSTN has evolved over a period of time. GST 80 we are discussing for last 9 years, and Jatinji says it may come all of a sudden, should not be Pandora's box for us. They should have some kind of, clear thought process, clear guidelines, clear infrastructure, clear backup, clear support, so that we can see the success of GST-80 in our reducing the litigation.
Last topic.
And last and foremost, if government will keep continuing with all of a sudden decision like compensation cess gone, this is just an example. We need stability, we need predictability, we need clarity, then only we can see ease of doing business. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Bimalji. Jatin sir, anything you want to conclude the session?
GST has a lot of hope because like in the opening remarks, what RK sir mentioned, those who have entered GST practice straight away after qualifying may not be able to appreciate how cumbersome the tax regimes of the past were, but those laid the foundation for the jurisprudence that we now enjoy in GST. The opportunities that lie ahead in GST are enormous, and the challenge for all members to be prepared to face those challenges and contribute meaningfully to society just waits for us to step up and take that responsibility.
Thank you. Parveenji, you want to conclude by saying anything? Any message you want to give to the...
No, thank you. I think...
or you want to share your mobile number with all?
No, thank you to being here, and it's always evolving with the help of technology. All these things is whatever the government is planning to do, a lot of new initiative or new thing. It's a technology driven initiative, and a lot of things is achievable during the course of things. And I must appreciate that all the citizen of India, taxpayer, tax practitioner, everybody has adopted the technology, and it's a very commendable thing.
Thank you, Parveenji. And I must say, we must salute the GSTN for handling such big, I think it's the biggest computer system in the world. They are, no computer system in the world handles so much data. And the perfection going on, slowly they are improving, and the glitches are very less. So we must salute to GSTN for handling this. Criticism चलता रहेगा, लेकिन जो अच्छा हो रहा है उसे appreciate भी करना चाहिए. Now, chairman always have the last word, and the GST Directors Committee chairman is here. So let we hear from him last words.
Sir, we have come a long way from the Inspector Raj, from physical control to record-based control, from an era when a law was amended today and it is applicable from the midnight of the next day. Jatin Christopher will remember the transaction value when it was introduced, I think it is 30th June 2000, made applicable from July 1, 2000, if I'm not wrong. There is a whole new concept of valuation in excise changed overnight. Today at least you get 1 week, 10 days, 15 days time for a notification, and they say this notification will take effect from this date. So we have come a long way. So today, if you ask me, as a person who has come from the background of excise duty, sales tax, VAT and service tax, we are breathing fresh air. And I always remember this very great shairi of our President Nandaji when he says, अपने हौसलों को खबर करते रहो, अपने हौसलों को खबर करते रहो, जिंदगी मंजिल नहीं, सफर है, चलते रहो. This is GST.
Thank you. Please give a big round of applause to all the four panelists. I think they have contributed to this session immensely. So now over to Manish Raj Janaria for the formal vote of thanks. Thank you.
Hello, I am CA Manish Raj Janaria to offer formal vote of thanks on behalf of EIRC. So the panel discussion was on GST 2.0, and I feel after implementation of GST, here we did the major exercise of cost calculation and cost reduction. And as rightly said by Jatin sir, especially where rate was reduced to 0 and also without ITC, companies might have reduced the rate, might have reduced the cost, but very soon they will again increase it. And special thanks to Mr. Praveen Dokania ji. We, from our own fraternity, we have one person in the GSTN who can hear our voice. And as he said also, B2C invoicing, e-invoicing is to be coming very soon. And Bimalji is very hopeful on the cess credit, the coal cess credit, and he is asking to wait for the 57th GST Council meeting. So as the taxpayers, will be waiting for some positive announcement. And last but not the least, Susil sir and the Rajendra sir, institute have given the opportunity, because before GST, mainly the advocates were in the field of indirect taxation, but only after the GST, with the effort of the institute and the IDT committee, we chartered accountants are forming the major role, and we are performing majorly in the field of GST. So thank you so much to all panelists once again. Thank you so much. Let's have a round of applause to everyone. Thank you.